Last night there were 6 or 7 people. 5 for sure, depending on how you count me.
So I got the babysitting yesterday morning, two fixing to be three. So everything is fine.
Is it running?
It was,
One, two, three, four, five. Right, okay. Ready, Rachel? Okay, good morning. The time is 9 o'clock. Let me call to order the special meeting for Friday, September 16, 2022. For the record, we have Mr. Finch, Mr. Allen, Mr. Clark, Mr. Egan, and Mr. George present. With the 5 of the 7 members present, we have quorum. First item is announcements acknowledgement pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.0415. Mayor, council, and staff may report on various items listed. I want to take a moment to thank police chief and the company for arranging the coffee with the cops this morning. Good turnout. Thank you for that. I know many of the staff and council members attended. Thank you for that. Are there any announcements?
No announcements from staff, Mayor.
Okay, going to close the announcements. Moving on to the public comments. This is the time members of the audience may come forward and speak to the council on items other than personal or legal matters or items on the agenda. If anyone would like to come forward and speak to the council, you may do so at this time. No one is coming forward, so we're going to close the public comments. Moving on to the discussion and action item portion of the agenda. Item number 1, discuss, consider, and act upon the second reading of ordinance 2022-27 of the town of Sunnyvale of the town council of the town of Sunnyvale, Texas, making appropriations for the support of the town of Sunnyvale for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2022 and ending September 30, 2023, and adopting the annual budget of the town of Sunnyvale for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Ms. Hopkins?
Good morning, Mayor and Council. This is the second reading of the ordinance to approve the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2022 and ending September 30th, 2023. Staff recommends approval and state law requires this to be a record vote.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hopkins. Let me open up for public comments. If there's anyone from the members of the audience who would like to come forward and speak to the council on item number 1, you may do so at this time. No one is coming forward, so we're going to close the public comments. Council, are there any questions or discussions on this topic? Okay, if not, I call for a motion.
Mayor, make a motion to accept item number 1 as presented.
Motion made by Mr. Allen.
Second.
Second by Mr. Finch. Everyone heard the motion? The additional discussions. Last, Ms. Hopkins said this is going to be a record vote, so we could start with Mr. Egan on the right side. Mr. Egan?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Finch?
Yes.
George, yes. With the 5 yea and no nays, Mr. Eldridge and Mr. Freeman are absent. Moving on to item number 2, discuss, consider, act upon the second reading of ordinance 2022-28 of the town council of the town of Sunnyvale, Texas, ratifying a tax rate of 0.453000. Mr. Hopkins?
Mayor and Council, local government code requires that adoption of a budget that will require raising more revenue from property taxes than in the previous year requires a separate vote of the governing body to ratify the property tax increase reflected in the budget. A vote under this subsection is in addition to and separate from the vote to adopt the budget or a vote to set the tax rate required by tax code or other law. Staff recommends approval.
Ms. Hopkins, do we need a specific language or we can just vote to approve? Yeah, Ms. Rachel?
On this one, you do not need your specific language. We do need a roll call vote. It will be the next one that we need the specific language, and when she's done with her staff memo, I'll hand it to one of you.
Thank you. Let me open up for public comments. If anyone from the members of the audience would like to speak to the council, item number 2, you may do so at this time. No one is coming forward, so we're going to close the comments. Council, are there questions or discussions on item number 2? If none, I call for a motion.
I'll make a motion
to approve item number 2 as presented.
Motion made by Mr. Finch to approve item number 2 as presented. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Allen. Everyone heard the motion. Are there additional discussions? Like it's going to be, again, record votes. We're going to start with Mr. Finch.
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes.
George, yes, with the 5 A and 0 nays, motion passed. Moving on to item number 3, discuss, consider, act upon the second reading of ordinance 2022-29 of the Town Council of the Town of Sunnyvale, Texas, providing for the levying of property taxes for the tax year 2022 and enacting provisions related to the subject and purpose of this ordinance. Ms. Hopkins?
Mayor and council, staff recommends approval. The vote of the ordinance setting a tax rate that exceeds the no new revenue rate must be a record vote. According to tax code, a motion to adopt the ordinance setting the tax rate that exceeds the no new revenue tax rate must be made in the following form. I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of .453000, which is effectively a 0.9% increase in the tax rate, and of that, .306900 is levied for maintenance and operation of the town, and .146100 of the tax rate is specifically levied for debt service.
Thank you, Ms. Hopkins. Let me open it for public comments. If anyone from the members of the audience would like to come forward and speak to the council on item number 3, you may do so at this time. No one is coming forward, so we're going to close the public comments. Council, are there questions or discussions on this topic? If not, I call for a motion.
I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of .453 cents, which is effectively a .90 or 90% increase. 0.9% increase in the tax rate, and that of .0.306900 is levied for maintenance and operations of town, and that .1610 of the tax rate is specifically levied for debt service.
Ms. Hopkins, does that sound right?
The INS rate needs to be cited as .146100.
0.14610, correct?
Correct.
Yes, so the INS rate is 0.46100.
0.14.
0.146100.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Clark to move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of the tax rate of 0.453000, which is effectively a 0.90% increase in the tax rate, and of that, 0.306900 is levied for maintenance and operations of the town, and 0.146100 of the tax rate is specifically levied for debt service. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Finch. Everyone heard the motion. Are there additional discussions? Again, this could be a record vote, am I right? Rachel? Mr. Egan?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Finch?
Yes, sir.
George, yes. 5 voting yea and no nays, with Mr. Eldred and Mr. Freeman absent. Thank you very much, Mr. Jones, Ms. Hopkins, Phyllis, Gretchen, and it's a lot of work, and also the department heads. It's never easy to put together a budget, and hopefully this is I feel good about the budget. I feel good about the financial position. I'm glad we're able to keep the tax rate flat. Council, thank you for all your support and discussions. With that, we'll go to the last, Mayor and Council request for future staff updates agenda items. If there is none, I call for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Mr. Allen. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Finch. Everyone heard? All in favor signify. Motion passed 5-0. Thank you, Council. Meeting is adjourned. Time is 9:09. Again, thank you so much to all the council staff and the audience for attending.